All right, so this is your Unit 4 review. I know y'all have games tonight, and again, I'm not worried about you taking this test. Generally, I would just look over the ones that you had problems on when you had it in class. All right, number 1. A dolphin travels through water at a speed of 25 kilometers per hour. Which representation shows a distance a dolphin can travel at this rate? Basically, I know for every 1 hour equals 25 kilometers. So if I have 2 hours, it should equal 50. 4 should be 100. 6 should be 150. 8 is 200. As of right now, A is correct. Okay, B says the equation should be y is equal to x plus 25. But I know the constant should be written as y is equal to 25x. So that's wrong. C says this is the distance and this is the time. Well, they're not doing it 25 hours. That's not right. They have the labels wrong. Not the labels, the y and x axis wrong. It says in 5 hours, a dolphin can travel a distance of 135 kilometers. Well, I know 1 hour is 25. So if I do 5 times 25, I get 125, which is not 135. So that's wrong. So A is correct. All right, write an equation represents the relationship between the the x values and the y values in the table. So first thing I need to do is I need to find my rate of change. So between these, the 5 and 25 is 20, and here's 2. So I know 20 over 2 equals 10. So my rate of change is 10. So I have the equation y is equal to 10x. I also know my y-intercept, my b in this format, is where x is 0. When x is 0, y is 5. So this would be a plus 5. And that would be your equation. Which tables of data illustrates a constant rate of change? So to find the constant rate of change, I just got to find the change of y and change of x. Here, this is changing by 12, by 12, by 12. And this is 1, 1, 1. So the constant rate for that one is 12. Okay, so I'm going to circle that 1 because that has a constant rate of change. So the next one is 25 to 32, so that's 7. That's 7, and that's minus 1. I almost got you, but no, table 2 is not right. 1, it says 26 to 25, so that's minus 1. And then 25 to 27, that's plus 2, so that's not right. So it's only table 1. Table 1 is the only one that has a constant. Okay, number 4. It says the cost of 5 pounds of coffee is $9.58. What's the constant proportionality that relates the cost in dollars y to the number of pounds? So I know for every $9.58, it costs me 5 pounds. So then you would divide 5 into 958. When you do that, you get 1.916, which rounds up to 1.92. And so it costs $1.92 per pound of coffee. All right. A store sells movies for $33 each. Used movies sell for $5 each. Dominic is buying 3 new movies and X used movies. Write an equation can be used to find Y, the total price Dominic must pay in miles. In dollars. So I know he's buying 3 new movies, and each new movie costs $33. So I would do 33 times 3, which is 99. So that's actually my starting value because I already know he's spending $99. So my equation would be y is equal to 5x because now I got to figure out how much used movies he's buying plus the original $99 he's spending on movies. Man, he's spending a lot of money on movies. All right, next one. Number 6 says 4 students are each trying to raise the same amount of money for a class trip. The table below shows how much of each student's goal has been met. So Chloe's 0.8, Corbin's 1/3, Hank is 7/8, and Nathan's 75%. So Chloe's already written as a decimal. I need to write Corbin as 1/3 as a decimal, and I already know that's 0.8. 0.33. Also know 7/8 is 0.875. And then 75% is 0.75. So write a list that shows, I don't know why it says shows, the number in the table in order from least to greatest. So the least is 1/3. So 1/3 will go first. So I'm going to cross off Corbin's name. And then after 1/3 is 75%. Then 0.8. Then finally 7/8. If I can write it. Okay. So remember, best way to least orders from numbers from least to greatest is write them in their decimal form. Okay, number 7, order these from least to greatest. So 35.5% is 0.355. 1/3 is 0.33 repeating. That's just 0.87. 12% is 0.12. And then 3/5 is 0.6. And so we're trying to do it from least to greatest again. So least to greatest will be 12%. 1/3, and go down another line, 35.5%, and then finally 3/5. So this is your starting point, and that's your ending point. All right, number 8, we've actually kind of done before. I've talked to you about it. It says, which proportion can be used to show the slope of PR is equal to the slope of RT? So basically, I'm trying to figure out if which proportion will show me the slope. So I can't personally see the points, but I did write them down. So point P is -7, 7. R is -4, 3. And then T is 0.2, -5. And I told you before, write this as a table. So I'm just going to make that X. I'm going to redo this table. So those are the points. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put them in as a table. So you have X, Y. So my first point will be -7, 7. The next point will be -4, 3. The next one will be 2, -5. So I need to find the rate of change between here. Well, I'm actually not finding the rate of change. I'm just showing the operation. So the first thing would be 3 minus 7. Then over here would be -4 minus -7. Okay, so those are those 2 points. Now I gotta go down to these 2 points. Don't make that an 8. That looks really like an 8. Sorry, guys. So then that'd be -5 minus 3, and then 2 minus -4, which will be F. I think this will be the trickiest ones. And it's not the fact that it's hard. It just has a lot of numbers happening all at once. All right, a set of values shown below. What is the mean absolute deviation? So mean absolute deviation is technically not hard to find. It just takes a long time to do it. So what you do when you do mean absolute deviation is you find the mean first. So you would do 14.6 plus 27 plus 33.5 plus 44 plus 33 plus 66. When you add it all up, you get 218.1 divided by 6 equals 36.35. So that's your mean. This is not your answer. Okay, so I'm going to write 36.35 mean. So now what you have to do is you have to find the difference from your data of the mean. So the first thing you would do is you do 14.6 minus 36.35, and you take the absolute value of that, which is actually 21.7. Then you would do 27 minus 36.35, which is 9.35. Then 33.5 minus 36.35 is 2.85. And you keep doing this for all of the numbers. So the next number is 7.65 plus 3.35 plus 29.65. Okay, and then you add them all up. When you add them all up, you get 74.55. So then you have to add them up and then divide by the number you're adding by, which is 6. So when you divide by 6, you get 12.425. And I might have made a mistake. I'm not sure. But you'll have multiple choice answers on here. All right, number 10. The table shows the cost of service call from Jack's Cleaning for a given number of hours of service. Determine the slope. So let's find the rate of change. So this is X and this is Y. So that's 11. That's 1. 11, 11, 1, 1. So it'd be 11 over 1. To be 11 hours of service. If I would actually write this as an equation, my equation would say y is equal to, 11x. And I had to figure out where x is 0. So I subtract 1 to 0, subtract 11 here and get 44. This would be plus 44. All right, last one. What are the slope and the y-intercept of the graph shown on the grid? Okay, first thing you always do when it's asking you for the slope and the y-intercept is find the y-intercept because it's just quick and easy. So you look at the y-axis and you follow it down until you hit the line. I hit the line right there. Well, it's not exactly on a point. It's in between -1 and -2. So it means my y-intercept will be -1.5. So I'm going to say B equals -1.5. So now I know for a fact my answers has to be B or C. So now I have a 50% chance of getting this correct. Now I know my slope has to be -1/4 or +4. And that's pretty easy to figure out because we're going to do rise over run. So I'm going to rise 1, 2. So I rose 2. And I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I know I got a little bit mixed up there. But that's going to be a -8 since that's to the left. Well, 2 over -8 is -1/4, which is C. All right, thank you guys. I know you're busy tonight, but again, just look over the ones that you had problems on in class.